Beloved chosen one, pause for a moment. Heaven itself has interrupted your scrolling to reach you. This is not an algorithm, not coincidence, not randomness. This is a divine interception. You are not here by accident. You are here because your name has been whispered in heaven's courts. And now, heaven is whispering back to you. Listen carefully. You have felt it for a long time, that quiet pull inside you that tells you there is more. You are not like the rest, and deep down, you've always known it. While others move in patterns that lead nowhere, your soul keeps yearning for a higher path, a deeper truth, a purpose that can't be contained by ordinary life. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, to carry light into dark places. That's why you have been through what you've been through. Every betrayal, every rejection, every lonely night, none of it was wasted. It was divine preparation. The shaking wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to separate what is fragile from what is eternal inside you. Can you feel it now, that trembling in your spirit that's recognition? Heaven is confirming that this message is for you. The reason it's hard to believe is because you have been conditioned to doubt divine favor, to think you're unworthy, to see yourself as ordinary, but God does not choose the ordinary. He takes the broken, the overlooked, the outcast, and turns them into carriers of His glory. Every moment that felt like abandonment was actually divine silence preparing you for revelation. Every unanswered prayer was a lesson in trust. You are now standing at the edge of divine unveiling. What seemed like chaos was actually choreography. Heaven has been aligning everything, the pain, the pauses, the people, to bring you to this exact moment in time. The Spirit is saying, do not run from this call. You've delayed long enough. You've second-guessed yourself enough. This is your confirmation. The restlessness in your heart is heaven knocking. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's birth pain. You are birthing something sacred, something powerful, something that will shift atmospheres wherever you go. But you must awaken. You cannot stay asleep in a world that needs your light. You cannot remain silent when your voice was designed to break chains. You are heaven's ambassador, carrying divine frequency into every space you enter. The world is darker than ever, and that's exactly why you were born for now. Don't believe the lie that says you've missed your moment. The delay is not denial. God's timing has never failed. You are not late, you are on divine schedule. The same God who ordered the stars has ordered your steps. And now, heaven whispers, arise. You've been hidden for a reason. The silence was training. The loneliness was shaping. The rejection was protection. Every closed door was a shield from something that would have dimmed your light too soon. You are not forgotten, you were being reserved. Like a rare weapon forged in fire, you were being prepared in secret for public purpose. It's time to step into your calling. Chosen one. It's time to shake off the dust of doubt and remember who you are. You were never meant to chase acceptance, you were meant to carry authority. You are God's sign in the earth, His proof that light still wins, that grace still redeems, that destiny cannot be canceled by delay. Your spirit knows this truth even if your mind resists it. That's why tears come when you hear words like these, because your soul recognizes the voice of the one who made you. This is divine alignment, not coincidence. This message is heaven confirming what your heart has whispered all along: you are chosen. And in the stillness of this moment, heaven reminds you of a promise written long before your name was spoken into existence. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. If this message touches your spirit, do not let it pass in silence. Like share, and subscribe not for numbers, but to spread light across the darkness. And in the comments, write this prophetic act 777 as a sign that you received this divine call. You are not sharing a video, you are releasing a signal into the spiritual atmosphere. Every action of faith ripples through eternity. When you press share, you partner with heaven's plan. When you type 777, you're declaring, I am ready. I choose obedience. I accept my crown. Let this be more than an online moment. Let it become your altar of decision. Heaven watches for those who respond in faith. You are not a spectator. You are a participant in prophecy unfolding. The angels mark your agreement, and your declaration echoes through realms unseen. You have always known there was something different about you. From childhood, you felt the invisible weight of awareness, as though your spirit recognized patterns others could not see. When people laughed, you stayed quiet, watching, sensing. You didn't fit the molds they wanted you to fit. You were always slightly out of rhythm with the world, and though it made you feel like an outsider, that difference was never a flaw, it was divine design. Chosen one. That ache of not belonging was heaven's way of marking you early. It was proof that your soul was crafted from a different fire. While others found comfort in conformity, you were stirred by purpose. Even when you tried to hide among the crowd, something in you kept rising, something holy, something radiant, something uncontainable. You have been misunderstood not because you were wrong, but because you were ahead of your time. People feared what they could not define. You spoke from depth while they lived on the surface. You carried discernment while they followed noise. And though the rejection hurt, it also refined you. Every misunderstanding became a mirror, showing you that you were never meant to be explained, you were meant to be revealed. The world teaches sameness. Heaven births difference. Every prophet, every reformer, every chosen soul carried the same mark of otherness. They walked roads untraveled, endured storms unseen, and spoke words that shook empires. You walk in that same lineage. The fire in you is ancient. The purpose you carry did not begin with you, it began with God. And yet, this difference has cost you. You've been mocked for your faith, judged for your silence, envied for your resilience. You've tried to water down your light to make others comfortable. But every time you dimmed yourself, your spirit screamed. You cannot unbe chosen. You cannot undo divine election. The mark of heaven on your life is permanent. It burns through every disguise you attempt to wear. You have questioned why you feel so deeply, why you sense spiritual shifts before they happen. It's because your spirit was tuned differently. You are a vessel for discernment. God wired you to feel what others ignore, to see what others overlook. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is weaponry. The empathy that drains you is the same empathy that gives you authority in prayer. Your heart breaks easily because it was designed to carry intercession. When you walk into a room and sense heaviness, it's because your presence disrupts it. Darkness detects your light long before humans recognize it. That's why opposition has followed you, not because you are cursed, but because you are noticed. You are the threat the enemy feared would awaken. You are the embodiment of divine resistance. Don't despise your difference. Celebrate it, protect it, guard it like sacred treasure. It is the signature of your assignment. Every chosen one has a distinction, a frequency that heaven recognizes and hell resists. You were never meant to mirror the world. You were meant to reflect the kingdom. That's why worldly systems never satisfied you, because your spirit was not designed for them. You have tried to explain your dreams, your visions, your intuition. But people with unawakened spirits cannot comprehend the language of calling. Stop explaining divine evidence to carnal minds. Stop shrinking to fit places God is trying to move you out of. The misunderstanding was part of the molding. It stripped you of the need for approval. Now, you no longer need validation. You carry revelation. Your uniqueness is not an accident, it is strategy. God hides his greatest messages in his strangest vessels. You are not the mistake others tried to make you believe. You are the message. And every scar, every loss, every lonely season is a verse in your testimony, a story heaven intends to tell through you. So let the world misunderstand. Let them question. Let them doubt. In time, revelation will defend you better than explanation ever could. Those who dismissed you will one day realize they were in the presence of divine appointment. The light they mocked will become the light they seek. You may still wrestle with unbelief, that quiet voice asking, "Could I really be chosen?" But that question itself is proof of your humility, and humility is the doorway to power. The proud never ask such questions. Only the called do. You feel unworthy because you know the holiness of the one who called you. Yet still he calls. Still he chooses, and still he says your name. Let these words wash over you now, for heaven itself confirms your difference through the ancient text that still breathes with life today. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 139, verse 14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Carry that truth like armor. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, intentionally distinct, divinely crafted. Your difference is not a burden, it is your evidence of purpose. Chosen one. There are battles you fought that no one knows about, wars waged in silence, in tears, behind closed doors. You've smiled in public while bleeding in private. You've encouraged others while secretly asking God why he seems so quiet with you. Every hidden struggle, every night you whispered, "Why me?" into the darkness heaven heard. Not one moment has gone unnoticed. There were times you thought you were breaking, but you were actually being built. Every sleepless night forged strength you didn't know you had. Every unanswered prayer built endurance that shallow blessings could never give you. You were being trained for something greater. Though it didn't feel like training, it felt like loss. You have walked through valleys so deep that even your shadow trembled. But the same God who walked with Daniel in the lion's den and with Joseph in the prison walked with you through that season of silence. The evidence of his presence wasn't in the absence of pain, but in the fact that you're still here. You didn't lose your mind. You didn't lose your faith. You didn't lose your purpose. You rose again and again. When everything around you tried to bury you, heaven took note of that resilience. The angels recorded those tears as intercession. Your suffering became your sermon. Your pain became your pulpit. You are a living testimony that broken does not mean finished, and silence does not mean forgotten. You are proof that faith can survive fire. Every secret battle has built something holy within you. The scars you carry are not signs of defeat. They are the fingerprints of grace. God trusted you with those wounds because he knew you would not let them make you bitter. You would let them make you better. You were chosen to feel deeply so you could heal deeply. Do you remember those moments when you nearly gave up? When you whispered that you couldn't take one more disappointment, and yet somehow strength came? That wasn't coincidence. That was divine reinforcement. Heaven deployed endurance into your spirit when your own strength was gone. Every time you thought, "I can't," God whispered, "But I can." Your survival is not luck, it's prophecy fulfilled. You were not meant to die in that pit of despair. You were meant to rise from it carrying power. Your endurance has authority because it was birthed through experience. When you speak now, demons tremble not because of who you are, but because of what you've endured. You've walked through fire and didn't burn. You've crossed floods and didn't drown. You've seen loss and didn't lose yourself. So, chosen one, stop despising your battles. They were the birthplace of your anointing. Every trial taught your spirit a new language of faith. Every storm was heaven's classroom. You learned what sermons cannot teach. You learned endurance. Do you see it now? The reason the attack was so relentless is because you carry rare oil. The enemy only fights what threatens him. The harder the war, the greater the calling. You were never weak. You were being refined. The weight of pain was never meant to crush you. It was meant to anchor you. And when you thought you were alone, you were never alone. The God who collects your tears has been near, even when he felt far. The silence wasn't abandonment, it was observation. Heaven was watching how you would respond when no one applauded. You chose to keep believing, and that choice became your breakthrough. Listen now, as ancient truth confirms your experience. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." You have lived that verse. You didn't just read it, you became it. The closeness you now feel to God was forged in sorrow. You know His presence, not because life was easy, but because grace found you when hope almost died. So lift your head. What you carry now is wisdom soaked in tears, a strength that cannot be faked, a peace that cannot be stolen. You've survived storms meant to destroy you. And now, heaven says, use what you learned. Speak to the broken as one who has been healed. Pray for the weary as one who has walked their path. Your empathy has become your ministry. And now, I invite you to do something prophetic, something small but powerful. Type these words below, "I rise again." Type it not as a comment, but as a declaration. Because every time you say it, heaven hears it, hell fears it, and your spirit remembers it. When you write, "I rise again," you're announcing that every hidden battle has produced resurrection power inside you. You're saying, "What tried to bury me only planted me." You're declaring, "The same spirit that raised Christ now breathes in me." Say it with conviction. Say it with faith. Say it as one who has walked through fire and emerged shining. For you, chosen one, the battle was never meant to end in defeat. It was meant to reveal your unstoppable rise. Chosen one, what you called rejection was not a curse, it was redirection. Heaven has been working behind the curtains of your disappointments, sculpting something sacred from what seemed senseless. Every no that broke your heart was actually protecting your destiny. Every closed door, every missed opportunity, every relationship that fell apart was a divine rerouting towards something far greater than you could see. You see, God never wastes pain. He orchestrates it. He allows certain endings to shield you from premature exposure. The delay that frustrated you was actually mercy in disguise. Had those things worked out when you wanted them to, they would have limited your growth, dimmed your fire, and delayed your awakening. You were not being punished, you were being positioned. Look back for a moment. Remember the times you prayed desperately for something, only to watch it slip away at the time. It felt cruel. But now, in hindsight, you can see how that loss became the soil of your maturity. What left made room for what was meant. The people who walked away made space for those who will truly walk with you. The opportunities that crumbled forced you to build something original. Heaven's hand has been guiding you through divine detours. You thought you were lost, but you were being led through a sacred wilderness not to destroy you, but to develop you. Wilderness seasons strip away the noise. They reveal motives, expose idols, and purify the heart. You were being trained in solitude so that when promotion comes, your character will be strong enough to sustain it. The hidden seasons are the holiest. That's where faith becomes real, not performed. That's where you learn to hear God's whisper louder than the world's applause. It is in the shadows that your roots deepen. And though no one sees your progress, heaven does. Heaven measures your obedience in secret far more than your visibility in public. Chosen one, stop mourning what heaven removed. You cannot carry yesterday into tomorrow's purpose. Let go of what was. The things that fell away were not meant to survive where you're going. God will never take something from you without intending to replace it with something purer, stronger, and eternal. Your story has been a series of divine interruptions. Every time you thought you'd settled, heaven rearranged. Every time you built comfort, God called you higher. You've cried over endings, unaware that they were beginnings in disguise. The breaking was never final. It was an opening for light to enter. Sometimes God blindsides us because if we saw the full picture, when we'd resist the process. You prayed for growth, and heaven answered, but growth often arrives dressed as loss. You asked for strength, and God allowed pressure. You asked for discernment, and God permitted deception to teach you sight. Every trial was an answer, not an accident. Now, as you stand between what was and what will be, remember the potter never discards the clay. He reshapes it every time your plans shattered. His hands were already reforming your purpose. What you call chaos, he calls creation. What you see as delay, he sees as divine timing. You are being shaped in the unseen for an assignment that will require everything you've learned in the dark. This is why you could not stay where others settled. Your spirit kept stirring because stagnation is death for the chosen. Every time you tried to rest in comfort, heaven whispered, "Move." You were not made for small spaces. The divine design of your destiny requires expansion of faith, of capacity, of vision. Do not despise the process. Do not curse the slow seasons. The wilderness is where voices fade and the voice remains. It's where dreams are refined until they align with heaven's blueprint. You are being prepared not just for blessing, but for stewardship, to carry glory without pride, to walk in power without losing compassion. Now listen, there is sacred truth written long ago that affirms this mystery of divine redirection. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years, to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart. That scripture is your mirror. You are being humbled and tested not for failure, but for refinement. The wilderness is not punishment. It is proof that heaven trusts you enough to prepare you. So breathe, chosen one. The rejection was redirection. The ending was elevation. The silence was strategy. Nothing in your story has been wasted. It has all been working toward your unveiling. And when the appointed time arrives, the same paths that once broke you will bow before the purpose they birthed. Chosen one. The heaviness you feel is not random. It is the weight of calling. It is the holy ache that rests upon those who are trusted with divine responsibility. It feels like pressure, like carrying something invisible that others can't see or understand. Sometimes it feels unfair, but what you carry is sacred. That heaviness is heaven's hand upon your life. Every chosen one must learn the difference between burden and calling. A burden drains you. A calling defines you. A burden feels like chains. A calling feels like a crown heavy. Yes, but glorious. You were not created to live lightly. You were created to live meaningfully. The tension in your soul is the stretching of destiny. expanding your spirit so you can hold what is coming. God placed something vast inside you, a mission, a sound, a message that will ripple through generations. But before that greatness can be revealed, your shoulders must be strengthened. That is why the pressure has increased. The mantle you carry demands endurance. Heaven is building that endurance through everything you face. You've noticed it, how others seem free from the battles you fight, but they are not carrying what you carry. The calling on your life attracts both light and warfare. You cannot walk casually when you were designed to walk prophetically. The cost is higher because the impact will be greater. You are not weak for feeling weary. Even the strongest vessels tremble under glory. The pressure you feel is the proof of purpose. When the weight feels unbearable, remember that God does not place crowns on untested heads. He anoints you, then tests you, then trusts you. The testing is not rejection, it's validation. Heaven is proving your reliability. Chosen one, picture a diamond forming deep beneath the earth. It begins as ordinary carbon, dark, unseen, pressed by unimaginable pressure. For years it endures what looks like destruction, but all along, transformation is taking place. When it finally reaches the surface, the same pressure that nearly broke it has made it priceless. That is your story. You are heaven's diamond in the making. When your shoulders shake beneath the weight of this call, remember you are not being crushed. You are being crystallized. You are being shaped for visibility, refined for brilliance. Every sleepless night, every moment of "I can't do this anymore," every tear that fell silently, all of it has been refining your radiance. Do not despise the weight, for it is your proof of worth. If you carried nothing important, darkness would leave you alone, but you carry the blueprint of transformation, the sound of awakening, the seed of revival. Heaven chose you to bear it, and now the world waits for your obedience. And yet, chosen one, even diamonds are not meant to remain buried. There comes a moment when what has been shaped in secret must be lifted into the light. This is that moment for you. The world needs your voice, your courage, your faith. You were never meant to carry this weight alone. The call is heavy, but the journey is shared. So as you listen, let this be an exchange. If this message resonates with the chambers of your heart, take a step that symbolizes agreement. Let your digital actions become spiritual echoes, a reflection of partnership in purpose. When you like, share, or subscribe, it isn't about numbers, it's about light reaching further. Every press of a button is like throwing a stone into still water. The ripples spread beyond what eyes can see. And if you feel led, consider sowing a seed, not out of obligation, but out of alignment. Think of it as fueling a lighthouse. Every gift, every offering becomes oil for the flame that keeps this message shining across the world. When you give, you are not supporting a voice, you are sustaining a mission. You are saying, "Let the light keep burning for those still lost in darkness." Your obedience, no matter how small, is sacred currency in heaven. A like becomes a spark, a share becomes a torch, a gift becomes oil in the lamp of divine purpose. These acts, though digital, carry eternal resonance. For when hearts move in unity, heaven multiplies impact. And as you carry this understanding, remember the truth written long ago, a reminder that the weight you bear is divine evidence, not punishment. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It will speak at the end and will not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. So breathe, chosen one. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where you must be. The waiting, the wait, The weariness, all of it, is preparing you to carry glory without breaking. And as you move forward, let your heart remain generous, your spirit steadfast, and your light unshakable. For the world will one day understand what heaven already knows. The weight you carried was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to crown you. Chosen one, do you understand now why the warfare around your life has been so intense? It's because darkness recognized your potential before you did. The enemy saw what you would become long before you began to believe it. Every attack, every delay, every betrayal, they were all reactions to the light you carry. You were never targeted because you were weak. You were targeted because you are powerful. The pressure, the confusion, the resistance, it all began when heaven marked you. From the moment you were set apart, hell issued an alert. The opposition you face is not proof of failure, it is confirmation of assignment. Remember, this darkness always attacks what threatens its stability. The brighter the light, the heavier the assault. You have been fought not for what you've done, but for what you're destined to release. The enemy fears your awakening because once you rise, others will too. Your obedience has generational consequences. Think about it, the moments when everything seemed to fall apart, when people turned against you for no reason, when unexpected storms surrounded your peace. That was not random chaos, it was spiritual interference. The enemy tries to exhaust the chosen before they discover their authority. But you, beloved, are still standing. And that alone is a declaration of victory. The truth is, the enemy never hated you personally. He hated your potential. He hated your anointing. He hated that despite everything. Your heart still turns toward God. He wanted to silence your worship, but your praise became your weapon. He wanted to destroy your confidence, but your faith turned to fire. He wanted you to break, but you learned how to bend and not shatter. Chosen one, you must realize survival itself is warfare won. You've endured what would have destroyed others. You've walked through storms that left others drifting. You've seen betrayal, isolation, misunderstanding, and yet you still believe. That resilience is not natural, it is supernatural. You are proof that God defends His anointed ones. You were born into a battlefield, not a playground. Your calling makes you a target, but it also makes you untouchable within God's plan. Though weapons have formed, they have not prospered. Though tongues have risen, they have fallen silent. Every scheme against you has only served to sharpen your discernment. The attacks didn't end you, they educated you. And now, heaven is shifting you from defense to dominion. No longer will you simply survive, you will overcome, advance, and reign. The same energy once used to resist you will now elevate you. Every battle has built spiritual muscle, teaching you authority over fear, depression, and delay. When the enemy realized he could not destroy you, he tried to distract you, but distraction is no longer your portion. You have learned to distinguish the voice of truth from the noise of deception. You can now sense counterfeit comfort, detect false light, and recognize divine redirection even in disappointment. Do not underestimate your awakening. Chosen one. The fact that you now discern more clearly means you have already won. The enemy's greatest weapon is ignorance, but revelation disarms him completely. Your awareness of spiritual warfare does not make you paranoid, it makes you powerful. The attacks around your life prove that heaven has invested something immeasurable inside you. You are not merely surviving trials, you are exposing the enemy's weakness. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you strike at the heart of darkness. Every time you forgive instead of retaliate, you disarm hell's plans. Your obedience is a weapon, your faith is a fortress, your endurance is a declaration that light cannot be overcome. Now, Hear the word that confirms this truth, the promise that has stood for generations and remains unbroken. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Let that settle in your spirit. You don't fight alone. The battles that tried to drain you were never yours to carry entirely. Heaven has been fighting beside you. Every unseen moment of surrender, every whispered prayer, every quiet act of faith has summoned angelic defense on your behalf. You may have scars, but they are holy scars, reminders that you have been through fire and did not burn, through water and did not drown. The storms that came against you have now become your testimony. You are not a victim of warfare. You are the evidence of divine victory. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, write this number in the comments, 4 to 44. Do it not as superstition, but as a symbol. 4 is the number of divine order and stability. When you type 444, you are declaring, my battles are aligning with God's plan. My warfare is producing order. My chaos is becoming clarity. You are proclaiming that the God who fights for you has already secured the outcome. So take heart. Chosen one. The attacks that once frightened you now confirm your identity. You are not under assault, you are under construction. Heaven is finishing what it started in you. The enemy may roar, but his power is already broken. Your peace is proof. Chosen one. The season you are stepping into is not one of comfort, but of separation. God is drawing a clear line between what can remain and what must go. You have prayed for clarity, and now it is arriving, but clarity often comes through loss. Heaven removes before it reveals. The pruning you are experiencing is not punishment. It is purification. You have felt it lately, that quiet disconnection from certain people, the subtle shifting of relationships. The opportunities that once thrilled you now leaving you strangely unmoved. It's not that you've become cold, it's that you've outgrown the vibration of what no longer aligns. The soil that once fed you now feels dry because your roots are reaching deeper into divine ground. When God begins to separate, He is not subtracting from you, He is multiplying purpose through refinement. The friends, habits, and patterns that once surrounded you cannot journey with you into what's next. Some of them were seasonal teachers, others were temporary shelters. But now heaven is saying, come out from among them. This is your holy exit from what once felt familiar. You are being positioned for transformation. And not everyone can handle what transformation demands. People attached to your old identity may resist your new one because it confronts their comfort. But your loyalty must never exceed your obedience. If God is asking you to release someone, it is because their presence could limit your promise. This separation may ache, yes, but divine surgery always does. You may miss the laughter, the connection, the companionship. But trust this, God is not removing them to leave you empty. He is creating sacred space for alignment. Heaven cannot fill a vessel already full of what no longer serves its destiny. The emptiness you feel now is preparation for overflow later. Chosen one. Solitude is not your enemy. It is the incubator of your strength. The silence you fear is the space where heaven speaks. In isolation, revelation matures. You begin to hear the soft voice that was once drowned out by noise. You begin to see the patterns behind your pain and the purpose behind your pruning. This is the holy loneliness that forges leaders, prophets, and reformers. Do not chase what God is releasing. When people fade, let them. When opportunities close, bless them. When environments shift, trust the timing. Everything that exits your life by divine hand leaves behind spiritual residue, wisdom, clarity, discernment. You lose nothing when God is the one doing the subtraction. There is a rhythm to divine separation. one that only faith can understand. It is the rhythm of shedding before soaring, of quiet before conquest. Even eagles must separate from the flock to renew their wings. They retreat to high mountains, pluck away old feathers, and wait in stillness until new strength grows. Only then do they rise higher than ever before. You are in that molting season, chosen one. You are not falling apart. You are being refeathered for flight. The loneliness you feel is not the absence of love, but the intensification of calling. God isolates to elevate. He removes distraction so your spirit can recalibrate. When you are surrounded by too many voices, divine instruction becomes muffled. But when the noise fades, clarity rushes in like wind through open fields. You are being tuned to heaven's frequency. This separation is strategic. You are being pulled away from imitation to embody authenticity. You are learning that peace is more valuable than popularity, alignment more sacred than acceptance. You are learning to choose depth over attention, purpose over applause. That is maturity, the proof that you are no longer ruled by validation, but by vision. And through this process, heaven whispers an ancient reminder to strengthen your heart. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 21. Those who cleanse themselves from what is dishonorable will be instruments for special purposes, made holy, useful to the master and prepared to do any good work. You are that instrument. The cleansing hurts because it is deep, but it is necessary because your assignment is holy. The pruning you endure is heaven preparing you to be useful on a greater scale. You are being sculpted into a vessel fit for divine purposes, refined through discomfort into clarity. So if you find yourself walking alone in this season, walk boldly. You are not being abandoned, you are being advanced. The solitude that surrounds you is not empty, it is occupied by angels, by grace, by unseen preparation. You are not forgotten, you are being focused. And soon, when you emerge from this valley of separation, you will realize that what you lost was nothing compared to what you've gained: purity of heart, precision of vision, and power to fulfill the purpose written over your life. Chosen one, when the noise around you quiets, heaven begins to speak. The wilderness you've entered is not a place of punishment. It is a sacred classroom. It is here, in the stillness, that God trains his chosen in the language of obedience. You may have thought silence meant abandonment, but silence is often how heaven teaches discernment. In this season, words are few because revelation runs deep. The lessons you are learning now are not meant for the crowd, they are meant for your foundation. The wilderness strips you of dependency on applause, forcing you to seek approval from only one voice. When God isolates you, it is not to hide you from destiny, but to hide destiny within you until the time is right. You are walking through holy ground disguised as uncertainty. Every delay, every pause, every quiet day where nothing seems to move, those are divine appointments for spiritual development. Heaven is not silent because it forgot you. It is silent because you are being tuned to hear differently. In this wilderness, God removes the echo of others so you can recognize his whisper. He allows you to feel empty so he can fill you with truth that cannot be shaken. This is where you learn the rhythm of divine timing: when to move, when to rest, when to speak, and when to stay silent. You see, the wilderness is where prophets are trained, warriors are refined, and leaders are forged. Before every great mission, there is always a wilderness moment. Moses had the desert, David had the caves, Elijah had the mountain, and even Jesus withdrew to the wilderness before his ministry began. You walk in that same lineage, You are being prepared not for ordinary impact, but for eternal influence. It's easy to misunderstand this season because it feels so empty. The prayers you used to feel, you now pray in faith. The joy that once flowed easily now comes through discipline. You may wonder, what's wrong with me? But nothing is wrong. Everything is being rebuilt. God is rewiring your spirit, replacing emotional dependency with unwavering trust. He's teaching you to believe even when you don't feel, to listen even when He seems silent. This is the stage where your faith matures from reaction to revelation. You are learning that true strength isn't found in comfort, it's found in consistency. Heaven is not testing your emotions, it's strengthening your endurance. When you can still say, "I trust you" in silence, that's when you've truly learned heaven's language. The wilderness also purifies your motives. Here, you cannot perform faith, you must live it. The applause of men fades, leaving only the gaze of God. And under that gaze, everything false burns away: ambition, pride, comparison, insecurity. You are being stripped of the unnecessary so that only authenticity remains. Chosen one, don't rush this process. You cannot microwave maturity. Like God is not slow, He is thorough. He is digging deep, breaking the soil of your soul so new roots can grow. Every hidden season produces a visible harvest later. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree. What feels like delay is actually preparation for acceleration. One day you'll look back and thank God for this wilderness. You'll realize that what felt like isolation was actually insulation. Heaven covered you while you were fragile, protecting the seed of purpose until it was ready to sprout. You'll see that the quiet saved you from the chaos, that the pause prevented premature exposure. Even now, as you walk through this dry terrain, divine provision surrounds you. Manna still falls, maybe not in abundance, but enough for each day. The presence of God still lingers, maybe not in thunder, but in whisper. The fire still leads, maybe not in spectacle, but in stillness. The wilderness may feel barren, but it is fertile ground for revelation. Hold this truth close to your heart, for it was written long ago to remind every wanderer of divine purpose in solitude. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 6. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. That is the secret of the wilderness acknowledgement. The moment you choose to see purpose in your path, heaven begins to direct your steps with precision. The silence becomes guidance. The stillness becomes strength. So continue walking. Chosen one, don't despise the quiet, dwell in it. Don't flee the solitude, learn from it. The wilderness is not forever, it's a season designed to teach you the language of heaven, a language of trust, surrender, and divine awareness. When this season ends, and it will, you will emerge not just with faith, but with authority. The voice that speaks to you in silence now will one day speak through you with fire. Chosen one, you are now standing at a divine crossroads, a moment when heaven watches closely to see how you will respond. This is not just another day or another decision. This is a defining point, the kind that determines direction for years to come. You have felt the stirring inside, that inner tension between staying where it's safe and stepping into something unknown. That pull is not confusion. It is the call of destiny. God never forces obedience, but He always presents the opportunity for it. The choice is yours, but the consequences reach far beyond you. Heaven invites, but hell distracts. The spirit whispers, but the flesh hesitates. You are being asked to choose between delay and destiny, between comfort and calling. The truth is, mercy is still extended, but time is not endless. There are seasons when heaven waits, and there are seasons when heaven moves. you are entering the latter. God is calling you to act now, to obey now, to respond before hesitation turns into disobedience. The longer you wait, the dimmer the voice becomes, and every delay risks dulling discernment. You know what God has been asking you to do. You feel it in your spirit, that thing you've been postponing, the conversation you've been avoiding, the surrender you've been resisting. It keeps coming back to you, not as guilt, but as grace. The Spirit is not condemning you. He's giving you another chance to realign. But mercy does not stay forever at the door. Eventually, silence falls when warning is ignored. Don't mistake God's patience for His absence. He waits, yes, but He also withdraws when a heart hardens too long. You are one act of obedience away from acceleration and one act of resistance away from delay. The difference lies in your next choice. Heaven does not want perfection. It wants surrender. God isn't asking you to understand every step, only to take the next one in faith. The details will unfold after your obedience. You've been asking for signs, for confirmation, for proof, but the greatest proof is already in your heart. Peace is your confirmation. The restlessness you feel is heaven urging you forward. Chosen one, this is your moment of divine decision. Every great life in Scripture reached such a crossroads. Noah built when there was no rain. Abraham left without a map. Esther risked her life before the king. Peter stepped out of the boat while the storm still raged. Obedience has never been comfortable, but it has always been catalytic. Your act of faith will shift the atmosphere around you. The chains that held your family line will begin to break. The curses that repeated through generations will shatter because of one yes. Heaven doesn't need an army, it needs your agreement. When you obey, angels are released. When you surrender, strongholds crumble. Do not let fear counsel you now. The enemy always speaks loudest when breakthrough is near. His goal is to make you delay until the door closes, but you are wiser now. You recognize his tactics. You know hesitation is the language of hell, while obedience is the dialect of heaven. This is your moment to move, to believe, to act even trembling. Faith that waits for perfect clarity is not faith at all. It is calculation. You were not called to calculate. You were called to trust. The unknown that terrifies you is the same unknown where miracles live. Step forward, and you'll find the ground appears beneath your feet. Now, listen carefully to this eternal truth. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 8. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. He went out, not knowing where he was going. That is heaven's word for this moment: faith before understanding, obedience before explanation. God is not asking you to walk with certainty of outcome. He is asking you to walk with certainty of His presence. And now, as a symbol of agreement, type these words below: I choose obedience. Type it not for me, but for yourself. Let it be a prophetic declaration that seals your choice. When you write, I choose obedience, you align your spirit with divine motion. You silence the voice of fear and amplify the voice of faith. You tell heaven, I'm ready to move, and you tell hell, you no longer have my hesitation. These simple words may seem small, but they are keys that unlock doors unseen. Heaven moves when faith speaks. Angels respond when surrender is declared. And even as you type, the atmosphere around you shifts, resistance loses grip, clarity returns, and the path ahead begins to unfold. This is your moment, chosen one. You have heard, you have wrestled. Now, choose. Step forward not with certainty of outcome, but with certainty of presence. The God who called you will complete what he began, but only when you decide to walk in his direction. Chosen one. The days ahead will reveal more than your eyes expect. You are entering a time of unmasking when truth will rise and false light will fade. You have prayed for discernment, and heaven is answering. Not through loud revelation, but through quiet unveiling. The veil is lifting from your eyes, and you will begin to see what has been hidden in plain sight. Discernment is the gift that separates the chosen from the deceived. It is the compass that keeps you steady when illusion tries to lead. In a world glittering with imitation light, you must learn to tell the difference between what glows and what truly shines. Not every voice speaking peace carries heaven's authority. Not every opportunity labeled blessing is divine in origin. The enemy often dresses deception in beauty, hoping to confuse the pure in heart. Chosen one, your eyes are being recalibrated. God is training you to see beyond presentation to perceive essence. You will no longer be moved by charm but by character, not by performance but by presence. Heaven is sharpening your inner vision like an eagle's sight, able to spot truth from miles away. It will not be easy because exposure begins within. Before God shows you who others truly are, he will show you yourself. You will see where fear disguised itself as humility, where comfort masqueraded as peace. He will strip away layers of false strength until only authenticity remains. The unmasking begins with you not to shame, but to purify. Once your inner vision clears, deception loses its grip. What once seduced your emotions will no longer sway you. The glitter of temporary things will lose its pull. You will begin to crave truth over comfort, clarity over company, depth over display. This hunger for authenticity is your safeguard in a world addicted to illusions. Be warned. Chosen one, the brighter your discernment, the more uncomfortable falsehood becomes around you. When light enters a room, shadows retreat. Your very presence will expose pretenses not by confrontation but by clarity. You will notice people either draw closer to your honesty or distance themselves from it. Don't take it personally. Light is never loved by everything it illuminates. This is part of your anointing to see what others cannot, to discern motives behind words, to sense the true spirit behind every encounter. Use this gift wisely. Discernment is not given for judgment, but for protection and guidance. It is a mirror to guide you through the fog. When you learn to trust that still small voice, you will navigate this season without stumbling. Now remember this truth that has echoed through the ages, the divine warning and promise of clarity. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. That verse is not a threat, it's a compass. It reminds you that not all light is holy, not all warmth is safe. Some fires are meant to refine, others are meant to destroy. But those who walk in divine light will never be deceived for long. And so, chosen one, as you walk in this awakening, know that your support, your faith, your connection, they matter. Every time you listen, every time you share these words, you are helping the light travel further. When you like or subscribe, it's not about numbers, it's about resonance. Think of it as tending a flame. Each click, each share, each echo of agreement becomes oxygen to the message. The more hearts it reaches, the brighter the world becomes. And for those who feel moved deeper, consider sowing a seed, not out of obligation, but out of alignment. Every message, every production, every act of service here is a lamp on a dark road. When you donate, you are adding oil to that lamp, helping it shine for others still lost in the shadows. You're saying, let the message continue. Let the light not fade. Imagine a traveler walking through the desert at night. One small lantern in the distance can change everything. Your support through prayer, generosity, or sharing becomes that lantern for someone else's soul. You are not just a listener. You are a builder of light. Your generosity, however expressed, is sacred. It's not a transaction, it's transformation. You are partnering with purpose, sowing into truth, aligning with a mission that transcends screens and words. Each act of giving, digital or spiritual, becomes an offering that heaven multiplies. Chosen one, the age of deception is ending, and the age of discernment is rising. You are part of that dawn. Guard your sight, nurture your spirit, and let truth be your compass. And when you feel weary, remember even the smallest flame still conquers the night. Chosen one, you have felt the heat increase lately, not the heat of destruction, but the fire of refinement. This fire is not meant to consume you, it is meant to consecrate you. It is heaven's forge, shaping your heart into something unbreakable. The flames you feel around you are not signs of divine anger, they are proof that you are being purified for something greater. Fire has always been the tool of transformation. In nature, it clears forests to make room for new growth. In the spirit, it burns away everything that cannot stand in God's presence. It purges false attachments, dissolves fear, and refines motives until only truth remains. This is the sacred work happening within you now, a cleansing of all that was, to prepare you for what will be. It hurts, doesn't it? Refinement always does. You may find yourself asking why certain relationships have dissolved, why old comforts no longer soothe, why familiar patterns suddenly feel unbearable. The answer lies in the flame. Fire reveals what can endure and what must be released. It exposes the temporary so that the eternal can emerge. Chosen one, you are gold in the hands of the refiner. He places you in the fire not to destroy your worth, but to reveal it. Impurities rise only when heat is applied. What you interpret as pain is often the process of separation, the breaking apart of what's false from what's divine. Every tear you've shed has been washing away residue that no longer serves your purpose, and the refiner never leaves the fire unattended. When gold is being purified, the craftsman watches it constantly, never looking away. He knows it's ready only when he can see his reflection in it. That's what God is doing with you now. The fire continues until His image is visible in your life, not because He enjoys your pain, but because He delights in your purity. This fire is not punishment, it is preparation. You prayed for greater anointing, and this is heaven's answer. Power cannot rest upon impurity, for unrefined vessels crack under glory. God is ensuring that when the mantle settles upon your shoulders, it will not crush you. He's strengthening your structure through heat. Every hardship is forging endurance, patience, compassion, the unseen muscles of destiny. The pain of refinement often feels like abandonment, but it is actually intimacy. God does His most delicate work in the hidden furnace. When He seems silent, He is watching most closely. The quiet does not mean absence, it means precision. Every second in this fire is measured with divine care. You are not burning out, you are burning brighter. Consider how glass is made. Sand, ordinary and unnoticed, must first endure unimaginable heat before it turns transparent. Only then can light pass through it freely. The same transformation is occurring within you. The heat is turning you into a vessel that light can shine through unhindered. You will become a window for heaven's glory, clear, radiant, and strong. There is another mystery here. Fire also sterilizes. It destroys bacteria, purifies metal, and sanctifies altars. Your fire season is cleansing your atmosphere. removing attachments and energies that do not belong. You may lose some things along the way, but what remains will be unshakable. This is divine filtration. Everything that exits is making space for what is holy. Remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into fire, but the flames that bound others only burned away their chains. The very environment designed to destroy them became the place of liberation. The same will be true for you. This fire will not leave you broken. It will leave you free. And as you endure, take comfort in this eternal word. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Zechariah. Chapter 13, verse 9. I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. Let that truth settle deep within you. You are being refined, not rejected, tested, not forgotten. Every cry, every question, every tear shed in this process is heard. Heaven does not waste the pain of its chosen. What you feel now is not the end, it is the forging of endurance, the crafting of power, the sealing of purpose. Chosen one, trust the flame. The same fire that melts also molds. The same heat that burns also births. Do not pray for it to end too soon. Pray instead for it to finish its work. When it's done, you will emerge radiant, stronger, clearer, untouchable. The world will look at you and see not a survivor of fire, but a reflection of the one who walked with you through it. Chosen one, can you feel it? Something within you is awakening, a quiet strength, an unexplainable peace, a sense that your spirit is expanding beyond what you once knew. What was dormant is stirring. What was hidden is emerging. Heaven is beginning to unveil the authority placed inside you before time began. You are stepping into revelation, not of who God is alone, but of who you are in Him. This is the moment when divine power shifts from theory to reality. You no longer just believe, you know. You have walked through fire and discovered that survival is not your only testimony. Transformation is. The authority you now carry was not granted in comfort. It was earned through surrender. Every hardship that once broke you has now become a platform for power. You see, heaven never wastes pain. Every tear that fell has been turned into oil. Every battle you endured has become a lesson encoded into your spirit. That's why you sense a new boldness rising, not arrogance, but assurance. You are no longer moved by noise because you've learned to move by presence. You are beginning to walk in the same confidence that shook the earth when Jesus spoke, not from pride, but from alignment. Chosen one, this authority is not loud. It doesn't shout. It simply is. True power does not need to announce itself. It manifests through peace. You will notice it in small ways. First, your words will carry unusual weight. Your prayers will stir unseen realms. Your silence will command respect even among those who once dismissed you. That is not coincidence. That is the awakening of divine power. Heaven has been testing your stewardship in secret, and you have passed. You did not give up when the wilderness stretched long. You did not curse God when the fire burned. You did not turn bitter when others betrayed you. That endurance has authorized you. You are no longer just chosen, you are trusted. Now, you are being called to operate in a new dimension of spiritual authority. You will speak, and atmospheres will shift. You will pray, and doors will open. You will walk into rooms and change their spiritual temperature without uttering a word. The presence that goes with you will unsettle darkness and comfort the broken. You are becoming a living testimony that the same power that raised Christ from the dead lives within you. But hear this carefully, this authority is not for display. It is for service. It is not given to dominate but to deliver. Power without purity is poison, which is why heaven took its time refining you. Every painful delay was to ensure your power would flow through compassion, not ego. You are now ready to carry what once would have crushed you. You will feel heaven's confidence in you now, not because you are perfect, but because you are yielded. The Spirit can trust you to represent the kingdom with humility. And as you move forward, you will notice divine alignment prayers answered swiftly, visions unfolding clearly, timing working flawlessly. The same God who hid you is now revealing you, not for your glory but for His. Listen, chosen one, you are part of something larger. Across the world, other chosen ones are awakening. It's not coincidence, it's coordination. Heaven is activating its remnant. You are being joined in spirit to others carrying light, a divine network forming silently, united by the same fire, guided by the same voice. You are not alone in this rising. And as this revelation deepens, let this ancient truth become your anchor. We find in the book of Ephesians, chapter 3, verse 20. Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. That power, the same power that spoke galaxies into existence, now works within you. It is not distant, not borrowed, but resident. You are the dwelling place of divine authority, the vessel of unshakable light. So now, as an act of agreement, type this number below 555. Do it as a declaration, not a superstition. 5 is the number of grace, and when tripled, it symbolizes overflow, grace upon grace upon grace. By writing 555, you are saying, I receive divine power with humility. I walk in grace, not pride. I accept this awakening and align with heaven's purpose. Let those digits become your seal, your amen in the digital realm. Heaven reads faith in every act of obedience, no matter how small. When you type 555, you are stepping into spiritual awareness that shifts reality, acknowledging that grace, not effort, carries you forward. Chosen one, you are crossing into a season where heaven will confirm what it has already declared. You will no longer pray for open doors. You will walk through them. You will no longer question your worthiness. You will operate from sonship. The same Spirit that whispered in your wilderness now roars through your obedience. Rise in quiet authorities, a move in grace. Speak with compassion, not fear. The revelation of your power is not a crown of pride, it's a call to service. Use it wisely, walk in love, and never forget the greatest sign of true power is peace. Chosen one, you are not the only one awakening. Across the earth, the sound of awakening is spreading like a sacred vibration. There are others scattered, hidden, quiet, who feel the same stirring in their spirits that you do. People who cannot quite explain why their dreams have intensified, why their hearts burn for truth, why worldly distractions no longer satisfy. These are your kin in the spirit, the remnant, the chosen scattered ones whom heaven is gathering even now. You are part of a divine network, woven together by destiny rather than proximity. Many of them you will never meet in the flesh, yet your spirits recognize each other in the unseen. When your light flickers, theirs responds. When you pray, their hearts stir. Heaven is building something greater than any movement. It is constructing a living body, a constellation of souls aligned for such a time as this. For too long, the chosen have walked feeling isolated, believing their journey was solitary. But heaven never intended for light bearers to walk alone. The wilderness was temporary, the gathering is eternal. You have been prepared in silence so that when your paths converge, the resonance of your unity will echo through realms. This gathering is not loud or public. It happens quietly through divine appointments, unexpected connections, whispered recognitions. You will notice them in your life, people whose words carry the same frequency of faith, whose presence feels like home. They won't compete, they'll confirm. They won't drain, they'll discern. They will carry the same flame, not to overshadow yours, but to amplify it. In this time of alignment, heaven is joining kindred spirits, prophets, intercessors, healers, visionaries, creatives, each carrying a different expression of the same light. Together, you form a mosaic of divine intention. You are individual flames being united into one great fire that darkness cannot extinguish. This gathering is not for fame or platform, but for purpose. The world is shifting, and God is raising voices that carry weight, not noise. The chosen remnant will not speak to impress, but to awaken. They will not chase influence. Influence will follow obedience. Their unity will not be built through organization, but through revelation. You may feel something sacred even now, an invisible pull, like threads of light weaving you to others you have not yet met. That's heaven connecting its army. When the time is right, your paths will cross in divine precision. You will find that your stories fit together like puzzle pieces, each confirming the other's journey. What once felt random will suddenly make sense. Chosen one, do not fear this gathering. It is not a cult of personalities, but a congregation of purity. God is separating those who seek power from those who carry presence. The remnant walks not by hierarchy, but by humility. They serve, they listen, they obey. And when they speak, the earth trembles with recognition. This rising remnant will not shout in chaos. They will whisper truth into systems until those systems crumble under conviction. They will not demand crowns. They will carry crosses. They will not chase applause. They will seek alignment. These are the hidden ones, the surrendered ones, the nameless who carry names written in heaven. And you, chosen one, are one of them. You have been sensing it, the subtle nudge to rise, the sudden shift in your spirit. It is heaven saying, take your place, not to dominate, but to illuminate. Each remnant carrier is a torch in the night, and together you form the constellation heaven calls hope. Do not compare your journey with theirs. Each chosen one carries a unique note in the symphony of purpose. Some are called to speak, others to heal, others to create, others to intercede in silence. Each sound matters. Without your note, the melody is incomplete. Comparison kills harmony, but unity amplifies it. Even now, heaven is aligning geography, timing, and circumstance to unite the scattered. Some are rising from deserts, others from cities, others from unseen corners of the earth. They do not need to find each other. Heaven will orchestrate the meetings. When you encounter one, your spirit will know no need for introductions, no need for proof. The light in you will recognize the light in them. And as this divine alignment unfolds, remember what was spoken in ancient times, the ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 12, verse 5. So we, though many, are one body in Christ and individually members one of another. That verse is not merely theology, it is prophecy. You are part of a living organism, heaven's body moving on earth. The unity you are stepping into is not organizational, it's organic. It flows not from structure, but from spirit. So walk with open eyes and a listening heart. The people coming into your life are not random, they are strategic. Heaven is assembling its army of light not with weapons of war, but with weapons of love, prayer, truth, and presence. Together, you will rewrite stories, redeem families, rebuild ruins, and reignite faith in forgotten hearts. Chosen one, the gathering has begun. The remnant is awakening. You are not alone in this calling. You never were. Chosen one. Every rising of light draws response from darkness. It has always been this way since the beginning of creation. When God spoke, "Let there be light," and chaos trembled. You are stepping into a moment where that eternal battle is becoming visible once again. The clash of kingdoms is intensifying, not as myth or metaphor, but as reality unfolding through you and around you. You may feel it already, the tension in the air, the spiritual resistance that seems to press harder the closer you move toward purpose. The enemy does not fight what does not threaten him. The turbulence you feel is not evidence of failure, but confirmation of forward motion. Heaven's light within you has grown brighter, and darkness, sensing its decline, grows desperate. Understand this truth. Spiritual warfare is not punishment, it is participation. You are not merely a target in this conflict, you are a weapon in the hands of God. Your prayers shake invisible realms. Your worship dismantles strongholds. Your forgiveness disarms hell's schemes. You carry more authority than the enemy wants you to believe. When light expands, darkness must respond, and that is why the resistance has intensified. The enemy seeks to wear you down through fatigue, distraction, and fear. He knows he cannot destroy what is divinely marked, so he tries to discourage it. Every whisper of doubt, every unexpected delay, every sudden heaviness in your heart, they are attempts to disconnect you from divine momentum. But you, chosen one, are learning to stand firm. You have fought too long to surrender now. This war is not fought with visible weapons, but with invisible will. The battlefield is the mind, the heart, the realm of faith. Every thought of defeat is a dart. Every declaration of truth is a shield. Your greatest defense is not found in striving, but in steadfastness. To remain in peace when the world trembles, that is warfare. To keep believing when circumstances contradict, that is victory. Heaven's army is not loud, it is luminous. And you, one of its soldiers, fight not with anger, but with authority, not with argument, but with understanding. You win not by overpowering darkness, but by refusing to partner with it. The moment you choose forgiveness over resentment, faith over fear, love over bitterness, light conquers once again. Do not misunderstand, this clash is not a battle of equals. Darkness does not rival light. It only exists where light is absent. The enemy thrives on illusion, convincing believers that they are weaker than they are. But the moment truth enters, illusion shatters. One flicker of divine awareness dissolves entire shadows. You do not need to shout at darkness. You need only to shine. Remember the authority within you. It is not something you earn, it is something you carry. The Spirit of God lives inside you, the same Spirit that hovered over the waters at creation, that raised Christ from the dead, that breathes galaxies into motion. You are not an observer of spiritual warfare. You are the embodiment of heaven's victory on earth. You will begin to notice it, your peace disturbing chaos, your prayers shifting atmospheres, your presence altering environments. That is not pride, that is power. Divine power functioning through obedience. Hell cannot stand against a heart fully surrendered to God. You are living proof that surrender is stronger than strategy. And when you grow weary, remember this: you are never fighting alone. Every chosen one across the earth stands with you in spirit. When one prays, thousands gain strength. When one endures, many are sustained. The unity of heaven's remnant forms a wall that darkness cannot breach. This truth has been written since ancient days, and it remains your assurance even now. The voice of God thundered in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. That is your inheritance, indestructible victory. Weapons may form, but they will fail. Words may rise, but they will fall silent. Accusations may echo, but truth will always outlast them. The covenant upon your life is not fragile. It cannot be revoked, diluted, or delayed by any force of darkness. So take your stand, chosen one. Not in fear, but in faith. Not in exhaustion, but in endurance. Lift your head high, not in arrogance, but in awareness of who fights for you. The King of Heaven has never lost a battle, and he will not start with yours. This clash is not the end, it is the unveiling. When the storm subsides, what will remain is clarity, the revelation that victory was never uncertain. You are not merely surviving spiritual warfare, you are shaping its outcome. Every moment you remain faithful, light expands, truth advances, and heaven smiles. The battle is fierce, yes, but so is your spirit. Stand firm, luminous one. The war has already been won. You are simply walking out the victory. Chosen one. This journey has not been easy. Glory always walks hand in hand with pain. Before every crown, there is always a cross. The closer you move toward divine fulfillment, the more the weight of calling becomes tangible. You have felt it, the tug between surrender and resistance, between obedience and exhaustion. This is not weakness. It is sacred tension. It is the proof that your heart still beats in rhythm with heaven. Glory never comes cheaply. The crown you are being prepared to carry is forged through endurance, humility, and sacrifice. The world glamorizes victory, but heaven honors surrender. Every yes to God has a cost, sometimes comfort, sometimes company, sometimes your own understanding. But what you lose in convenience, you gain in clarity. Chosen one, you are standing in the sacred intersection between promise and price. The same hands that crown also crucify. To reign with Christ is to first die to self, to lay down pride, fear, and the desperate need to control outcomes. The process is painful, but it produces power. The soil of surrender grows the flowers of authority. Do not resent the cross that you carry. It was custom made for your calling. Each nail represents an area of release, the letting go of what no longer aligns with destiny. Carrying your cross is not punishment, it is partnership. It means heaven trusts you enough to walk a path few can endure. The cross is not the end of your story, it is the door to your crown. Think of gold once more, it must endure pressure, heat, and shaping before it can reflect light perfectly. Think of seeds, they must be buried in darkness before they can bloom in sunlight. The same principle governs your journey. What feels like burial is actually planting. What feels like loss is actually growth in disguise. And when you feel weary, when your spirit trembles under the weight, remember even Jesus fell beneath his cross. Heaven does not demand perfection, it desires perseverance. Falling is not failure, rising again, despite pain, is worship. Each step you take with your cross is a testimony that your love for God outweighs your longing for ease. Soon, that weight will turn to wonder. The crown will replace the cross. The scars that ache now will shine later as proof that grace sustained you. Every tear will become part of your testimony. The path of pain is not meaningless, it is sacred. For only those who have carried a cross can truly value a crown. Now, hear what heaven once declared through ancient words of victory. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings of chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. This verse is not just a challenge, it is a call to commitment. Choose fully, walk boldly, Follow without hesitation. The time for wavering has ended. The season for devotion has come. You cannot carry both your calling and your comfort. One must yield to the other. And as you carry this truth, let your heart move with gratitude. If these messages have lit something inside you, let your actions reflect that flame. When you like or share, you're not feeding algorithms, you're feeding souls. Every interaction sends light further into places you may never reach physically. Each time you subscribe, you become part of a movement that keeps this voice of truth alive in the digital wilderness. Think of it this way. Each share is a spark. Each comment is a ripple. Each subscription, a brick in a bridge that leads others back to faith. And if your heart feels stirred to give, to donate, know that it is not about transaction, but transformation. Your generosity becomes like oil poured over a lamp, keeping the flame from dimming. It fuels messages that reach the lost, comfort the weary, and awaken the chosen. When you give, you are not supporting a person, you are sustaining a purpose. Like a farmer sowing seed into good soil, your offering multiplies beyond sight. Heaven always returns what is given in faith, not always in money, but in peace, provision, and protection. And when you comment, let your words carry life. Tell what part touched you. Speak light into this space, because your testimony might be the answer to someone else's prayer. This is more than a page, it's a gathering place for souls in transition. Chosen one, your crown is near. The cross was never meant to crush you, but to crown you. The same God who called you to carry it will soon exchange it for glory. Until then, walk faithfully, give freely, and shine brightly. Heaven watches not for perfection, but for persistence. Chosen one, the time of fulfillment draws near. What once seemed distant and uncertain is quietly aligning beneath divine orchestration. The threads of your story, those tangled by pain, those knotted by confusion, those frayed by waiting, are being woven together into a tapestry only heaven could design. This is the season where prophecy meets manifestation, where every delay begins to make sense. You have waited long, sometimes in silence, sometimes in tears. You have prayed without seeing, believed without proof, hoped when hope seemed foolish. Yet through it all, you did not let go. You stood when others fell away. You trusted when logic failed. You obeyed even when obedience felt like walking blind. And now, heaven says it is aligning. Divine fulfillment never comes suddenly, it comes precisely. What you call delay, heaven calls preparation. Every unanswered prayer, every paused plan, every closed door was arranging something better than you imagined. The promises spoken over your life were never canceled. They were simply maturing. Seeds take time to break, roots take time to grow, and only when the foundation is strong does the flower appear. You, chosen one, are that flower now coming into bloom. Look carefully at your life, the small shifts, the subtle signs. People who once resisted you are now being softened. Opportunities once shut are quietly opening. The favor that felt distant is returning. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven is aligning external circumstances to match the internal transformation that has already taken place. You are no longer who you were when the promise was first spoken. Back then, you wanted results. Now, you desire revelation. Back then, you sought recognition. Now, you crave righteousness. The waiting has purified your motives. The wilderness has redefined your vision. You no longer chase the promise, you carry the presence. And because of that shift, you are ready for what's next. The fulfillment of divine prophecy is never only about blessing, it is about becoming. The promise is not a reward, it is a reflection. When God fulfills His word, it is not to prove Himself, but to reveal Himself through you. You are the vessel through which the prophecy breathed. That is why it took time, because heaven was shaping you into a form that could hold what was foretold. Chosen one, what's coming will not arrive with noise, but with knowing. It will feel like peace before it looks like progress. The signs won't be loud, but they will be sure. Divine timing rarely shouts, it settles. You will wake one morning and realize the struggle has shifted, the storm has stilled, and what you prayed for is standing quietly beside you. You will find that the things which once consumed you no longer control you. You will walk in ease where you once wrestled. The doors that resisted you will open without knocking, not because you forced them, but because heaven turned the key. Fulfillment is not striving, it is synchronization. When your heart aligns with heaven's rhythm, everything falls into place. Even now, as you read these words, unseen alignments are taking shape, people are being positioned, opportunities prepared, resources released. What you thought was silence was actually strategy. Heaven was arranging a divine domino effect, one movement triggering another until your promise stands fully formed. Listen closely, the Spirit is whispering what your heart already suspects. The waiting was worth it. Every tear, every delay, every season of confusion was a necessary chapter in your becoming. You had to walk through darkness to appreciate light. You had to lose certain things to recognize true treasure. You had to be still long enough to hear the difference between your voice and God's. And now, as the pieces click into place, take heart in this eternal assurance. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up. This is the heartbeat of fulfillment. The vision never died, it waited for alignment. Heaven does not forget what it decrees. God's promises are not fragile, they are eternal. When He speaks, creation moves until it obeys. Chosen one, you are standing on holy ground, the intersection of prophecy and purpose. What you've endured was not wasted time, but sacred investment. Every season, every lesson, every refining moment has prepared you for this unveiling. And when fulfillment arrives, it will not overwhelm you. It will feel familiar. You'll recognize it not by surprise, but by peace. It will fit perfectly, like something you've always known but only now remembered. For destiny is not something you chase, it's something you grow into. Breathe deeply, the alignment is here. What was spoken is manifesting, what was delayed is delivering, and soon, you will look back on every wilderness and whisper, it was all necessary. Chosen one. This is the moment creation has been waiting for, the unveiling of those whom heaven has refined through fire and fortified through faith. The time of coronation is not far off. You have walked the valleys, crossed the deserts, endured the storms, and now you stand at the edge of fulfillment. What was once prophecy is becoming reality. You are no longer the wounded wanderer, you are the crowned conqueror. This crowning is not about status or superiority, it is about stewardship. The crown represents responsibility, not comfort, service, not spectacle. God crowns those who can carry glory without losing humility. You have learned to bow before you rise, to serve before you lead, to love before you speak. That is what makes you ready for the throne He has prepared, not a seat of power, but a position of purpose. Every trial has been preparation for this. You didn't realize it, but heaven has been training your heart in royal posture. When you forgave instead of retaliating, you were learning to rule with mercy. When you chose faith instead of fear, you were learning to reign with peace. When you stayed silent instead of proving yourself, you were learning the discipline of divine authority. Every hidden act of obedience was a rehearsal for your coronation. Chosen one, your crown is not made of gold, it's made of endurance. Each jewel in it was formed from a trial you overcame. The ruby of courage, the sapphire of wisdom, the diamond of purity, the emerald of patience, together they glisten with heaven's reflection. This is why the battle was so fierce. The enemy saw your crown long before you did. He feared what would happen when you realized who you truly are. But now you know. The veil has lifted. You walk with the awareness that you are not just surviving, you are reigning. You are a vessel of divine authority, carrying heaven's DNA into earthly realms. Wherever your feet tread, light follows. Wherever you speak, truth reverberates. You are not an echo of the world. You are a voice of heaven. This coronation is quiet, not public. Heaven's ceremony doesn't need an audience, because its glory is internal before it becomes external. You will sense it first, a still confidence rising within, a sacred peace that confirms it is time. The crown settles not on your head, but on your heart. It's the moment when striving ceases and knowing begins, when identity replaces insecurity, when purpose silences fear. And as this happens, something powerful unfolds. The same pain that once made you weep becomes your wisdom. The same enemies that once mocked you become silent witnesses to your restoration. The same roads that once broke you now bow beneath your feet. You carry authority not because of your strength, but because of your surrender. You have become what the world could not predict, a vessel of divine resilience. Heaven crowns not those who are perfect, but those who persevere. The crown is not a decoration, it is recognition. It declares to all creation that grace triumphed over guilt, that purpose outlasted pain, that light conquered the long night. You have walked through the furnace and come out radiant. You have faced opposition and still chosen compassion. That is what royalty in the spirit looks like, not dominance, but divine dignity. And now, chosen one, listen as the sacred record confirms this eternal truth about your coronation. We are reminded through the writings of James in chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That is the promise you now live within. The crown of life is not merely a reward after death. It is a reality for the living, a consciousness of divine authority that radiates through your every breath. You are walking proof that perseverance births glory. In this new season, your role shifts. You are no longer a seeker of signs. You are a signal yourself, a beacon for others still wandering in the dark. Your presence will bring peace to the weary, courage to the broken, conviction to the lost. You are now a carrier of atmosphere, a vessel of transformation. Wherever you go, heaven goes with you. Do not shrink from this identity. Wear your crown with humility, but do not hide it. You are not crowned to blend in, but to stand as testimony that grace prevails. The same fire that purified you now burns within you, not to destroy, but to illuminate. Walk in that light, steady and sure, knowing that all of heaven recognizes your name. Your coronation is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of your reign. The storms will come, but they will bow to your peace. The darkness will whisper, but it will flee from your light. For you, chosen one, are crowned not just with purpose, but with presence marked by heaven, known by God, and destined to shine forever. Chosen one, you have walked through revelation, fire, silence, and glory. You have seen how pain can purify, how delay can align, and how calling can crown. Heaven has spoken not through thunder, but through the steady rhythm of truth that has followed you through every section of this message. You have reached the end of this script, but not the end of your story. In fact, this is where your new chapter begins. Pause for a moment. Feel the quiet shift within you, that gentle certainty that something sacred has taken root. You have not just read words. You have encountered a mirror that reflects who you truly are: chosen, refined, crowned, and ready. Heaven does not waste revelation, and it does not release truth to hearts that are not ready. You were meant to hear this now. If this message has touched your spirit, let your light answer back. When you like, share, and subscribe, you are not performing an action, you are continuing a mission. Every share carries this anointing to another weary soul scrolling in silence. Every comment becomes a spark that keeps the flame alive. Speak your heart below. Tell what line met you where you were. Your words may be the healing someone else is waiting for. And if you have walked this journey from the first section to the last, know this: heaven sees your hunger. You are part of a divine movement, ordinary voices made extraordinary by faith. Keep this fire burning. Carry these words beyond the screen, into your life, into your world. Your crown shines brighter when you help others find theirs.